One of the most discouraging parts of thyroid care is watching your antibodies stay high year after year. Doctors keep adjusting the medications or having you try to restrict your diet more, or they'll ignore the antibodies altogether. But here's the thing, medications have nothing to do with antibodies. They don't make any difference whatsoever, and there's a reason for this. In this video, I'll explain why thyroid antibodies don't respond to medication and why they do matter and what does help. My name is Dr. Alan Christianson. I'm a naturopathic endocrinologist with 30 years experience helping people heal their thyroid function naturally. So think about this relationship kind of like, I don't know, like your kid and a bully at school. And this bully takes your kid's lunch. So the problem won't be solved by more lunch or by sending more food with. And honestly, a lot of the stress and the trauma is not just from the missing lunch, it's from being bullied. And it's the exact same way with the immune system and the thyroid. Nearly everyone who has Hashimoto's still has normal thyroid function. It's actually quite rare that Hashimoto's causes the thyroid to fail. It's the main reason when the thyroid does fail, but most with Hashimoto's have perfect thyroid function. And the evidence is very clear that adding medications when the thyroid hasn't failed does nothing to help with Hashimoto's, the same way that more food won't make a bully stop. And the other big important point to realize is that the immune response, this is often the biggest driver of symptoms. People aren't tired because they're lacking in thyroid hormone in this situation. They're tired because of the chronic inflammatory stress from the immune response. The evidence is clear that levothyroxine, armour thyroid, cytomel, whatever you want to talk about, it can replace missing hormone, but it doesn't improve the immune response. It can even worsen that. These antibodies are made by immune cells. They're not coming out of thyroid cells. You can have perfect TSH, perfect T3, all that, but still have raging autoimmunity. And this is why people so commonly feel awful despite normal labs. In fact, it's been argued that the likelihood of having autoimmunity without hypothyroidism is 24 times more common than the opposite. So what's really driving this? The autoimmune response, it's not just random. It has fuel in Hashimoto's. And these big drivers are oxidative stress in thyroid tissues. The main cause of that is iodine excess triggering thyroid peroxidase oxidation and excess iodine binding to thyroglobulin. And that's why we can measure elevations of thyroid peroxidase and thyroglobulin antibodies. We also see changes in overall immune balance, Th17 to Treg ratios. And these are all things that thankfully can be modified with natural responses. But meds don't really help. So then we think too about just the total amount of oxidative stress within the thyroid. And this is where its own antioxidants are needed to buffer that. So some of the big keys for these steps are, for the first part, getting your iodine balance right. If you've got thyroid disease, you got to take into account the iodine from all of your sources and keep that between about 50 to 200 micrograms, even lower when you're trying to heal things. And also consider that thyroid medications are another source of iodine. And with oxidative stress, a big thing here is selenium, getting the right amounts of that. It's nice to have selenium both from the diet and from supplements, but this is also a window. This is also something to where more is not better. And this window is somewhere between about like 50 to 300 micrograms. Many can go above that. I see that quite commonly. But we've had good studies on humans, placebo-controlled studies or control group studies, showing that regulating iodine, getting selenium to a good range, can lower the antibodies, can heal the immune response, and even reverse many of the findings of overt hypothyroidism, and even improve thyroid structure. But it's always about healthy amounts. It's not just that more is better and we always need higher quantities. Think about some hidden sources of iodine, like dairy food, commercial bread, even gluten-free bread, supplements, and skincare. Selenium, excess is rarely from diet. It's more so from getting multiple supplements that contain that. And there are supplements to where the amounts they have is not the same as what they have labeled. So consider those and be cautious, err on the lower side. And in terms of immune balance, we also think about other signals such as nigella or vitamin D. These are things that can heal the immune response overall and prevent the body from attacking itself unnecessarily. So the thing to remember here is that thyroid antibodies, they're staying high because of factors, because of controllable, measurable factors. And most of these are things that we can identify and change. It's not a simple lack of hormone. And adding thyroid hormone on top of it, well, now you've got something foreign the body didn't really want, plus a problem that's already there. Now you got two problems rather than one problem. And you're not really addressing an immune problem by loading extra thyroid hormones and forcing the body to be more stimulated. If you want to learn more about how to get things right, check out my video on the thyroid reset diet and how that can help Hashimoto's. I'll put that in the description. And please like and subscribe to this channel. This is a place where you can get some thyroid guidance based upon long experience working with 100,000 people or so and strong evidence, and not the same things you'll commonly hear in conventional or functional circles.